Well, you guys have one more gravel video to have to watch, so deal with it. So yeah, it looks like these transfers, they've just got these latches, so when the thing slides on, it's really just sitting on top of here, but these brackets latch it in place and hold it in place while they drive down the road. All right, so this is Rusty.
How's it going?
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
So a couple questions. So I saw it when you backed up to this trailer, there's just these small holes that lines up with. Do you have a backup camera that you back up to with that?
No backup camera.
No backup camera.
Nope.
So that's just all muscle memory right there.
Pretty
huh?
much, yeah. You do it enough times, you figure out where you need to be.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And then, so these transfers, so this just sits on this rail right here, and then I saw you've got a latch. Those just latch on, that's what holds it in place?
There's 4 latches under the can, and they have air cans on all of them, so you drop that, and that's how the hooks will drop once the air releases. They're dropping right now. So that's what locks them in place as you're going down the road. And then the lock, pull it back.
Cool.
Locked in.
Sweet. And then I know you haven't done it yet, but I'll have to ask you some questions. So I know you back up the truck, you'll turn the truck off, and you'll back up to that hitch.
Right.
So you're shutting fuel off, I'm assuming? Is there...
You shut the ignition off, so basically you leave the key on, but it won't allow the truck to fire.
Okay.
The older models, back in the day, there's different switches and everything, and this is just kind of the newer way that they do it, so there's no...
A little safer.
I've been in it before in an older truck, and it fired up on me, and luckily I was in the right position where nothing bad happened.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So they try to eliminate all those
Yeah,
things.
operator error.
Yeah,
for sure. Cool. Well, let's see you do it.
Okay.
That's so cool. And just like that, you're ready to hit the road.
That's it. Ready to go get another one.
Right on. Thanks, Rusty.
Thank you. I'll be back.
Well, I was supposed to spend my morning spreading gravel, but instead I got to spend it trying to clean up our septic system. Something got clogged up in there and it was just nasty. But yeah, you're just wrist deep in this nastiness and you're finally just having to work and work and work and you finally get it unclogged. That's been my morning. Well, I figured let's talk about this for a minute because you might be wondering, well, what's this barn? You've never seen this barn. That's because we just built it. Sweet new pole barn we decided to build because we just had so much equipment that just been sitting out in the rain, sitting out in the, more it's for the summers is actually sitting out in the sun. The sun just does so much damage to tires and paint and plastics and things like that. So we wanted to make something that, we wanted to make a barn that we could house a lot of the equipment in. So we decided to build this pole barn. And Kevin McConnell Construction out of Oakdale did this barn and did a fantastic job. So beautiful. We're very, very happy with it, and they did it so quick. So that was really great. But now we got to come through. We had a lot of rain, so we had to wait a long time before we could actually come in and put gravel down. And I had to actually let this dry out because there was so much mud and moisture in here. So finally got gravel delivered, and luckily in time because in 2 days we're supposed to get more rain. So this will be perfect. We're going to start moving this rock, get this all ready. Well, we've done quite a bit of work, and we still have a lot to do, but I've been cleaning up this area over here because I want to just have this whole entire area just covered with gravel. One of the things we got to do is move this bad boy, this old garbage truck. So this was my cousin. He was going to be taking the engine and transmission out of it. It's got a 8.3 Cummins, and it's got an automatic transmission. He was going to be putting it in a truck build that he had done. And so it got parked here, and he unfortunately passed away pretty young and kind of unexpectedly. And so that was a bit of a toll on the family. It still is, obviously. And but so we got to move this, and so I'm gonna try and get it fired up right now and see if we can move it. We'll probably end up keeping it because we'll probably try and do something kind of like what he was planning on doing, is probably using the engine and transmission out of it someday for something. So let's see if we can get it fired up. It's been sitting for a while. It's a good spot for the lunch pail. We're going the right way about this, the easy way. Put this right there. I know we did this before. Well, I know we're gonna have to jump it because I know this battery wasn't fully charged, so we at least needed to get to this point here. Well, hooked up some juice to it. We're gonna let it charge for a bit. See if it'll fire it up. Once we get this going, we gotta get this bad boy going. This is one of the last things I purchased with my dad. Actually, it was the last thing. He actually is the one who found it on Facebook Marketplace. He's like, it'd be sweet to get something like this. So yeah, let's do it. So we picked it up, and I think he drove it once or twice maybe, but it's actually been pretty handy. We haven't used it a ton lately, but we'll be using it quite a bit probably now that, well, it's still January, but it definitely feels like spring is in the air here. So we'll be using it soon. A little more. Close. Well, could not get the dump truck to start going. We just need more juice for it, so we're gonna have to, I'm gonna probably use the Ranger, hook it up to this to try and get it running. So in the meantime, I need to be able to get over here and more easy access to where the battery is for it. So we need to move the road grader anyway. We need to try and get the road grader fired up. And this thing has been pretty temperamental in the cold weather. So we'll see if we can get it going. All right, so for some reason, this thing hasn't been wanting to fire. We're using the key switch. And also, this thing just will not fire. Even on a hot day, it could be 100 degrees in the summertime, it will not start unless the glow plugs are working right. And so for some reason, the glow plugs haven't been working right on it. So I looked at it, and just it looks like so much corrosion where the key switch is and also where the glow plug switch is. So we're gonna go a little old school today just to see if it's gonna work. We're just gonna go and touch this wire here, and okay, so it'll turn over. We got the battery charging a little bit. We got this one here that hopefully we can just touch there and see if the glow plugs will heat up. Then once we determine that if that's gonna solve everything, then I'm gonna make a mount here instead of right next to the seat. I'm just gonna make a mount here that you can just start it from off to the side. So hopefully that works. One thing that's fun about using the iPhone to film is I can't see what it looks like or can't see what I look like. And so I just watched that video over again, and I honestly have no idea what that was. Okay, I'm seeing sparks, that's good. Just needs a little more time, a little more juice. Well, she started. I just got to keep her going. Well, this has turned into much more of a project than I was expecting it to. Got Dad's old truck out here, the service truck. I'm trying to clean up these contacts on these battery connections just because I'm having a really hard time getting this thing going. I've just had too small batteries to try and get it going, so I finally was able to I just bit the bullet and pulled off these batteries off of one of our other trucks. But I want to make sure that I got full charge. I'm making sure all the connections are completely clean so that I know that this is not the issue with this thing not starting. And I can tell that it is the issue because it's just really lagging when it's wanting to start. So cleaning these contacts up, and this should get us to fire up now. So this was my dad's truck. I remember going and buying this with him brand new in 2001. So this is the first generation Duramax, and I remember going and riding with this, test driving it with him and being so excited. Just like, Dad, you got to keep this thing. This thing's awesome. So he got it and he put this utility bed, right away after he bought it. And my dad always loved tools and anything tool-wise. And so this truck always had everything you would ever need in it, especially for how small of a utility bed. I mean, it's still a decent size for just a single pickup, but it's not like a, massive service truck. But for what it is, he's got pretty much anything you need right in here. So it's one thing that I'm going to try and keep going, is keep this thing organized, keep it stocked with tools. It's just such a handy rig. And of course I left the wire brush grinder, the battery powered grinder, in the shop. So going old school with the brush. All right, so I let the batteries charge for like 2 hours. I was actually on a conference call with my partners at Spotlight Ag. If you haven't downloaded the Spotlight Ag app on the App Store yet, you gotta do it. You're missing out. It's an awesome place for ag. Download the Spotlight Ag app in the App Store. Ooh, she's a little cold. This thing is special. But like I said, he was only going to use the engine and transmission out of it. But actually, I'm kind of cool. It might be nice to see if we can get this trash thing working, the compactor. It'd be kind of cool, actually. You guys like my setup? I hear the air charging up. Oh yeah. Look at this fun thing, huh? know the garbage man? The garbage man, the garbage man. Do you know the garbage man who lives on Stinky Lane? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. We've got all the gravel done. It's all been laid out. I still was gonna do probably just a little bit more touch up with the skid steer, the Bobcat, but man, this is looking good. Nice big clear area to be able to park all our equipment, store our equipment under cover. Be able to have all these outlets, put trickle charges on batteries, because that's one of our biggest problems. We've got a lot of equipment that just sits for a long period of time. But we don't want to have to take the batteries off every time. It'd be nice to just hook up trickle chargers. So got that done. Next step is we're going to be putting in outlets above to put in lights. And then we can start parking equipment in here, which is the whole purpose of this place. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next episode.